strokes of how you did it, and I have a more pointed question. Will you open your platform to curated other projects you intend to fund using that? Because I think it could be useful. I thought about it, right?
Yeah, so my team, we've talked about that kind of, be it through some sort of method, licensing or something, trying to offer that infrastructure that we had to really get around the fees that are obviously associated in the event that you use someone else's platform to get that's the whole reason why I did it. I'm a numbers guy, I'm a businessman at the end of the day, so the way that I look at it is, I have to justify, I don't care how much it is, 2%, I have to justify spending that. I'm not just gonna give it away. So for me, it made sense for me because I felt like, well, we can make the money, and obviously with the success of ISOM, ISOM 1, that's money that would have went to someone else, that went to my hands. I'm not saying that you have to do that, I wouldn't recommend that everybody does that, but because we have that infrastructure, there may be some opportunities in the future, and my team has discussed that internally. But my approach, and Chris is completely correct on like how things are changing specifically in the funding space. My approach was that we didn't necessarily need the money. I come from a background of just doing a million things, and I happen to be able to subsidize the projects myself. So what got introduced to the game was transparency. That's something that has not existed, not in filmmaking really for the most part, certainly not in comics. Nobody knows what sells what, that wasn't a thing. So what I liked, what crowdfunding introduced, I took that transparency and said, you know what, we'll do just a traditional pre-order campaign. However, we'll add the elements of the crowdfunding where people are able to see who paid for what it is that you're getting, you have perks, all that stuff that's associated with it. And that's what's completely changed the game and what everybody has to take advantage of in terms of the opportunity. Big studios can't offer that. It's impossible for them. That's an advantage that you guys have to be able to reach out to the crowd, present something that is, that's a whole conversation in itself. Like, of course, people have to want to pay for it. Presenting something it is that people want, and then being able to use that funding to, of course, build out whatever you have in your mind or whatever ideas you can make those things come to life. And you can pivot on what doesn't make sense. You can continue to do what does make sense. And that's the advantage that independent filmmakers, independent creatives in general have that, again, the big guys don't. I just read a story, I don't know if you covered it, Gary, about Mattel, when they said was it $30 million they're wasting on this He-Man project? And it's just gonna sit there, it's dead. Like, nobody knows what's gonna happen with it. So, that's another story. Obviously, nobody wants it. But on a serious note, like the position that you're in as an independent creative, that's obviously you can do a lot with $30 million, but you can pivot. You can say, all right, people aren't feeling it this way, one way or other, you can do that. So we'll maybe talk about that, and I'll ask some questions surrounding that. But the advantage that you have as an independent is having a direct line of sight with your audience, and that's how you get the funding for your projects. That's all we did. It wasn't really a rocket science.
I also want to